Is preaching something that we've decided we want to do, or is preaching something God actually has a plan and a purpose for? Well, God does have a purpose and a plan for preaching, and you can see it in places like First Timothy chapter 1. I'm preaching this morning at the church where I have a privilege of pastoring on what we're going to call God's purpose and plan for preaching, because he says to Timothy, go tell certain guys, hey, quit saying what you're saying. It's not beneficial. It's speculative. It's not grounded in anything that is true. And then he says, because the aim, the goal of our charge is love, but love that issues from a pure heart, from a good conscience, and from sincere faith. And what we end up knowing then about the aim of preaching, or God's purpose for preaching, is that it would cultivate and grow love. You see, you can make it all about the law, as some of them were doing, as if somehow doing the law and keeping the law would change who you are, or maybe you try to build yourself up by the law. But that's not what God tells us to build ourselves up in. In Ephesians chapter 4, he says that we're to be built up in love. And we see then now the aim of our preaching is that our hearts would be pure, that our motives, our passions, our wants would become increasingly Christ-like, that we would have a good conscience, that we would know the difference between what is right and wrong and have a foundation of that which is true, and do that which would keep our consciences clear, and that we would have a sincere faith, not a faith in what we can do, but in a faith in what Christ has done, and that our teaching and our preaching would strengthen our faith and increase our faith, never necessarily making it more sincere, but definitely helping it to be stronger as we learn more and more to depend upon the Lord than we do even our own selves. And so there is a reason for preaching. And I hope that the preaching you hear this morning is accomplishing that purpose, and praying that that would be the case with me. Listen, remember, Jesus is worth it. And I hope you guys have a great Sunday.